Hi, it's Deborah Atkinson, founder of The Voice for Fitness, and I'm going to share with you a couple of tips for how to eat for energy in the new year and all year round. So here are the clues about how you're eating right now, even though you think you're eating really clean or you're really cutting back on calories, you're not seeing weight loss come off, which you think will make you feel more energetic. Here's why. There's a big mystery, and it's called hormones, and there are a lot of them, and they're interacting with each other. So a lot of times we blame cortisol. You've heard of that one, and we blame that for visceral belly fat. So please, cortisol alone is not your problem. So yes, stress will cause cortisol, and that cortisol can assist deposits going to your belly that maybe weren't there, and that's especially true of you if you've gone through or you're going through or you're on the other side of menopause. And now there's this, and you look down and said, where did that come from? Please go. And it's not budging. So the reason why cortisol gets high and does that deposit is not just because it's an automatic deposit. It's because insulin also plays a role. When does insulin come into play? Well, when you eat carbohydrates that have a lot of sugar in them. So all carbohydrates have some, but it's more, is it a time release capsule? Because it's got more fiber in it and it's longer lasting and stabilizes your blood sugar, or does it spike it? So the difference between a white potato and a sweet potato is actually a sweet potato has a longer lasting, lower glycemic index, and it doesn't affect your blood sugar in such a bad way. It actually sustains it. White potato, not so much. So other things that are much more obvious to you, right? So brown rice or quinoa as opposed to white bread, okay? Big difference. Or as opposed to a candy bar, right? So you're gonna get a real rush, high in sugar, and then pretty soon you're gonna crash and you're gonna just want some more. So where does that all come into play with what you need to do for eating for energy? Well, the kind of foods that spike and then drop are gonna kill your energy. You'll have short energy, a burst of it, and then not. And what happens is that not is not just a up and a come back. You actually go way down, drilling down deep into the pit of anti-energy. And doing that over and over again causes problems not just with cortisol, because it stresses your system and you don't feel good. That's when you're not clear-headed, you can't make decisions, and you are hangry. You're not really hungry, but you're angry, hungry, and your stomach is kind of gnawing and you don't know why, and you can't figure out why somebody dropping off papers to you and putting them in the wrong spot on your desk is such a big deal. So everything just is a big deal when you have those hormones going wacky. So cortisol, insulin, adrenaline, potentially, because if we were doing that day in, day out, all year long, and here we are in December, you are tired. Your adrenal glands are just fatigued. So where does eating come in? If you're eating well, you're eating a lean protein and you're eating vegetables, plenty of vegetables and the right kind of carbohydrates, but in smaller doses on a regular basis, you cut your cravings for sugary type of foods. Your blood sugar stays stable, your cortisol stays out of the way, insulin is much more stable because cortisol and insulin are playing good together, and so you don't have that deposit. So what do we do about what's already in the bank that you want to take out? Well, if you are exercising well and you're releasing stress somehow, because we can't avoid it, your weight will come off much more naturally. So it all starts with what you're eating and eating really well. The problem is, how do I define that? And it's a little different for everybody depending on how you burn and where you deposit your fat. Is it the kind you can pinch an inch and it's hanging from your bat wings? Or is it internal and you've got a bigger, firmer belly? Two different kinds of eatings come into play. And if you want more information on the details, click below. The information is there. And I've got a webinar coming up I'm super excited about. Because what we know now is there are really 7 essential areas that you need to control. The trick is, we need to decide which one for you comes first. Is it exercise? Is it sleep? Is it what you're eating? Your joys? Is it rest and recovery? You're exercising well, but we need to look at rest and recovery. We'll go into the details of that and into the details of not just cortisol and insulin and adrenaline, but of about 4 other different hormones that come into play, and how you can find out which yours are. If you can't just read it from your signals, what you can do next to either attempt to change it naturally with the steps I'll give you, or who you can go, how you can trust that you'll get the right answers to interpret what it is you need. So, hope you can join it. If you're seeing me and you're seeing this video after December, read the description below, because you can still click there and find out when the next webinar will be. And I'll see you on the other side.